Welcome to another episode of Sanford Says. My name is Lisa Holder, Communications Officer for the City of Sanford, and we have two great guests with us today. Herronda Mortimer, Regional Coordinator for the Florida Department of Health in Seminole County, and Tiffanie Johnson, Program Assistant for the Florida Department of Health in Seminole County. We're here to talk about a very serious topic, but also an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. It's the breast and cervical cancer program that the Florida Department of Health offers to the public. So, Herronda and Tiffanie, thanks for being here. This is just another way to get the information out, the good word out to those listeners and to the public. Can you share a little bit about that program history and how this came about?
Yes, absolutely, Lisa. Thank you for having us. The Florida Breast and Cervical Early Detection Program, also known as the Mary Brogan Breast and Cervical Early Detection Program, allows us to provide free or low-cost mammogram services as well as cervical cancer screenings for those individuals that are eligible and they meet our criteria. Most of the breast and cervical cancer programs are located throughout the state, and they are usually separated by regions. For our region, we cover Seminole and Lake County. So if you're living in either of those counties, definitely we want to make sure that you have the services and they're available to our residents.
And it's called for short, it's the FBCCEDP, and it's also known as the Mary Brogan Breast and Cervical Cancer Early Detection Program. You want to share a little bit about that?
Yes, of course. And yes, for the statewide, it's the FBCC EDP program. But in our area, we just call it, in the regions, we call it the BCC EDP program, or some may know it as BCEP. This program was named after Mary Brogan. She actually was the lieutenant governor at the time's wife. She was diagnosed with breast cancer at age 44. So she was fairly young, and she did succumb to the disease in 1999. So it's big, important program, and we want to make sure that all of the women in the state as well as in our county are aware of the services that we provide. There is funding, of course, that the state provides to cover these mammograms and these very, very important screenings. So we want to make sure that those who do qualify understand and know the importance of getting screened and make sure that they know that there are resources available.
Yes, and this makes it easier to get free or low-cost breast and cervical cancer screenings. It's so important if you meet the eligibility requirements. And why now? Why in the month of April? Does it relate to anything?
No, well, I know we just came out of Women's History Month, but any month is important for breast cancer screenings. I know a lot of times we put a lot of focus October, everything goes all pink, but cancer does not wait to be diagnosed. So any month, whether it's April, whether it's October, whether it's any of those months in between, is so important to ensure that women are getting screened.
Yes, and you're here particularly on the Sanford Says podcast because you're having an event at our Westside Community Center, the Dr. Velma H. Williams Westside Community Center. So there's the correlation here in general. But back to it says in Florida here, what's the history? It says breast cancer is the number one cancer diagnosed in the state.
Yes.
And what are some other facts here that you can share?
Yeah, so in Florida, female breast cancer is the number one cancer, as you mentioned. So over 17,000, nearly 18,000 women are diagnosed based on the data that was gathered in our Florida chart system. So that means that's a lot of women. And we want to really make sure that we're focusing on early detection because we know that early detection saves lives and it's so important. We don't want it to be a late stage diagnosis because that comes with complications. And we all know, just like the word says, late stage, so that's just a little bit more complications. In addition, as far as Seminole County, I know I gave you information about Florida, but in Seminole County, 126 per 100,000 women are diagnosed each year. So based on our population, which is about a little bit over 400,000, that's nearly 500 women in Seminole County that could potentially be diagnosed with breast cancer.
All right. So then we have this opportunity to get screened, early detection. And so what is the eligibility here for those that are interested?
So for our program, women that are age 50 to 64, either uninsured or underinsured, as I mentioned before, live in Seminole or Lake County, and they are low income, so 200% of the poverty line. I don't want people to get caught up on that part of it. We want to make sure that we'll handle all of that information as far as determining the income level. But the main thing is give us a call. Make sure that you are aware. If you're uninsured, we can go through all the details.
And you mentioned a phone call. Where can they reach out?
They can reach out at the health department to the Breast and Cervical Early Detection Program at 407-665-3185.
All right. And so what are some expanded services with Orlando Health, Herronda?
So we were fortunate to be able to get a grant to expand our services to meet those women who are age 40 to 49. As I mentioned earlier, Miss Mary Brogan, former Lieutenant Governor's wife, did get diagnosed at age 44. So it's so important to make sure that the younger women are also being screened. The CDC recommends starting those screenings at age 40. So we want to make sure that we're able to meet that need.
All right. And services provided. Tiffanie, hello.
Hi.
So what services are provided with the program with Florida Department of Health?
Yes, so this is the exciting part. The services we provide are clinical breast exams, mammogram referrals, along with pap smears for those that are at least 50 years of age.
Okay. And so let's rewind a little bit. So there's a mobile clinic. This would not be taking place inside the community center. However, the mobile vehicle will be parked outside. And so what is the date for this event? And there's registration too. And
yes.
Very important.
Right. So with our expanded services, we do have a mobile screening event that's coming up on April 14th. We do need you to register by tomorrow, which is April 6th, I believe. Today's the 5th. Yep. So yes, April tomorrow. 6th. So it is so important. Call that number 407-665-3185. We want to make sure that if you are eligible, you are able to get your mammogram. And the difference from our program, the BSAP program, with the mobile mammogram bus, we are partnering with the Women's Center for Radiology, the Florida Breast Cancer Foundation, as well as the Beautiful Gate. You can have insurance. Just make sure that you are within that year of having your mammogram. So we want to make sure that we're decreasing those structural barriers and making sure that you all out there have the resources. So again, that mobile mammogram bus is coming to the Westside Community Center on April 14th. However, you need to pre-register, and we need you to give us a call as soon as possible, because the date for cutoff is tomorrow at close of business, which is 5 o'clock for us on April 6th.
Okay, so they have to register, and then they'll arrive after they're registered to get the services that they sign up for.
Yes.
And can they do that online, or do they have to talk to someone?
They'll have to talk to myself, or more than likely it'll be Tiffanie who takes that call. And we want to make sure that we get all of their information and particulars, because there will be slots. So for those who are uncomfortable with meeting and being close to people, because we are still we're still dealing with the pandemic, we want to make sure that you all have your time slot and there's no overlap. So it is imperative that you call to register. We will not be able to take any walk-ups that day.
That's important. That's definitely important, Herronda, because you don't want to go there and be disappointed. So, and I see here that to date you've screened approximately 100 women, but you have the capacity to provide more services.
Yes, we have a goal of 325. So that means we got a lot of women that we are able to serve. So again, we have funding. We want to make sure that we are using all of that funding, because, as they say, if you don't use it, you lose it. And we want to make sure that we're meeting the needs of the community.
Okay. All right. And so I see here there's quite a lot of talking points here, Tiffanie, that we can share with our listeners, our women, female listeners, or even male. Share with your wives girlfriends, and or mothers or sisters, daughters. What other options and what other types of screenings and do you have, and what is available?
Well, basically, we wanted you to be aware of the warning signs.
Okay.
So the warning signs are if you have a lump in your breast or under your armpit, if you have thickening or swelling in any parts of your breast, any type of irritation, redness, discharge, any type of pain in your breast, we would like for you to give us a call just so we can screen you and get you within our program.
Okay. All right. And so that's all great information, and we appreciate what you do each and every day at the Department of Health here in Seminole County. Herronda and Tiffanie, so we're promoting this screening event on April 14th in partnership, it says here, with the WCR.
Yes, the Women's Center for Radiology, the Florida Breast Cancer Foundation, and the Beautiful Gate.
Okay. And clearly, don't wait until October. You don't
Absolutely
have to.
not.
Right?
Yes.
Any last words here, ladies, that you'd like to share with the public? It's like I said, great opportunity here in Sanford, the mobile clinic is it called?
It's the mobile mammogram bus.
Okay, is headed here to Sanford. So if you are eligible, please sign up.
Yes, absolutely. Please sign up. As I mentioned before, our number to reach us is at 407-665-3185, and we are ready and willing and able to serve you. So please give us a call.
All right. Thank you, Herronda. Tiffanie, any last words?
No, I just want to mimic off of Ms. Herronda. Please give us a call, 407-665-3185.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, ladies, for being here. This is another episode, another topic that's so important for everyone out there listening. This is Lisa Holder, Communications Officer for the City of Sanford. You can subscribe to this podcast wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, as well as the city website at sanfordfl.gov. Thank you again for listening. We'll be back soon. Take care now.